that management was fully involved. We raised the audit queries, which they were never responded to adequately. During the exit, we raised the same issues. They were not responded adequately.
You provided them with a copy of the draft report?
A draft report, never responded.
There was no response?
Until the final certificate.
And that's why, Governor, these members have to sit here on a Monday going through an exercise which should have been done at the county. Our job is not to be auditors. Our job is just to get an explanation from you on what you're doing to close the gaps that have been identified by the Auditor General. So we have 22 pages and 65 issues to go through. And I want to assure you, we are not going to be the auditors. If the auditors are dissatisfied with a matter, we shall agree with them, unless you can prove that there was some evidence that was given to them. And so our job will just be to pronounce ourselves, because that's how the audit exercise runs. And I want to encourage, Governor, that during your time, we do not go through this. This is painful. This is the wrong use of the time of the Senate, because we'll be going through things like sports kit that was bought and was distributed for free, or saloon and hair cutting equipment that was distributed for free without any basis. Surely, if those things the auditor is not satisfied, our job here is to ask Patricia of the EACC to go after the culprits. It cannot be to introduce evidence at this point in time, because that ought to have been done during the time of the audit. So I will try to be extremely fast and efficient, because we are not doing an audit. We are doing this session for mitigation. What was the opinion in 2022?
Chair, the opinion is adverse.
And again, Governor, this we will not be tired of saying this. There are conditional grants which we will not access with adverse reports. And in 2022-2023, what was your opinion on the executive? Has it improved?
Chair, it has improved to qualified report.
It's a qualified opinion.
Yes.
So these opinions, they translate to real money in the hands of a county. So I hope that your officers take that responsibility seriously. Of course, as we are reporting them to the Institute, that one we are not relenting, but you must also push them to take their responsibility seriously, because they are costing you money. KDSP, which is one of the issues cited here, it has come back. But KDSP has always been a performance-based grant, isn't it? With an adverse opinion, you're not going to get it. Even FLOCA, we are saying FLOCA should take that route, and any other conditional grant, because there's no reason for us to take a loan as a country and send it to a county which has got poor financial controls. So this adverse opinion will come back to bite you. Let's look at it from that perspective. It's not just an accounting problem. So the first basis for adverse opinion was inaccuracies of the financial statements, which we have spent the last 2 hours talking about, errors, and we have said that the people who committed those errors, action must be taken. And perhaps we might want to invoke also the Public Audit Act, where if someone is convicted under the Act, they are barred from holding public office for 10 years. Maybe that would be the real painful consequence. Because I'm sure you have a lot of litigation. And I saw your county attorney, who I think they have formed some organization called County Attorneys Forum. The last time I saw him was in Meru, when I don't know whether it's a welfare organization or a trade union. You are the chair then? Now, if you are the chair of that particular forum, how can you not have advised the governor on contingent liabilities in Nakuru?
You will appreciate, Mr. Chairman, that we have had constraints in terms of operationalization and free establishment of county attorneys' offices across the country. But the governor commissioned some study on the gaps. We have teamed up with Kenya Law through Forum CIF, and we received their report in May this year through the Office of the Chief Justice, and we are looking into ways of implementing the same. The first steps we have taken, Mr. Chairman, is to establish a legal resource center and a bill tracker for the executive. And we promise that going forward, we'll be able to implement the report fully, Mr. Chairman.
I think I go back to the question that is here in the financial statements, because today we are discussing financials. There must be an interface between the Office of the County Attorney and the persons who prepare the financial statements, so that there's disclosure on litigation in progress, especially where there is already a reasonable estimate as to the likely outcome. A city county, or a county with a city, faces a lot of litigation on a daily basis. I believe that is your experience. Do you have visibility, Governor, on the number of cases that are active in court against Nakuru County? How many are there?
We are handling about 400 active cases from within the Office of the County Attorney. Of course, Mr. Chairman, you will appreciate that Nakuru County inherited a lot of cases that emanated from the Municipal Council of Nakuru, Municipal Council of Naivasha, Town Council of Molo, and the Nakuru County Council. So there are some historical matters that were inherited by devolution in 2013, and the ones that have arisen subsequent to 2013.
Have you attempted to quantify the likely outcome?
We have interim fee notes that we have compiled, Mr. Chairman.
Where fee notes have been issued, it's no longer contingent liability. That becomes payable.
Those are interim fee notes, but some matters have not been concluded. But in matters that have been concluded, Mr. Chairman, we have executed settlement deeds with the firms of advocates that we owe.
This information cannot be a secret known by the county attorney. This information must be public. And that's why it is a requirement in the standard for contingent liabilities to be disclosed. When Meru was here, Kawira, governor, she said that she had 800 cases against the county. Two of them, just two of them, were at 600 million. Yeah, 600 million. Just two cases. And one was an award of 150 million, which over the years had grown to 400, 500 million. Just one award. And they've buried their head in the sand, the same way you guys are doing, because there's an audit query. I think there are about 3 other audit queries on legal matters. And the interest keeps running. And they've exhausted all avenues of appeal. And then they're saying they can't pay. But if you can't pay, then you'll be committed to jail. Yes. Your accounts will be attached. You know, so this cannot be a secret known by the county attorney. It must be known by the governor, the entire government, and the public. That's why that disclosure is important. In Kisumu, Governor Nyang' Nyong'o is battling with a matter whose interest runs at 160 million every year. Just one case. And if you don't insist on that disclosure, the accountants and the attorneys don't tell you. Because sometimes they're the ones who make arrangements for the county to misperform in court. This is not a matter we are deferring to the next audit. This is a matter where we must direct that within 1 month, we must be presented with a copy of the contingent liabilities for us to report to the House.
You have 400 cases. Through you, the governor, has there been any process of establishing the office of the county attorney, the entire team? And have you established, because these 400 cases, if you have settled some of the payment of legal fees, should be transferred by to the county and being done by in-house advocates so that it becomes cheap at the long run. Because you remember through the chair, I think one of our colleagues is being owed by Nairobi City County of 1 billion Kenya shillings on legal fees, and is one of your residents in Nakuru. So my concern is there, have you sat with this department, give them the necessary resource to ensure that they transfer some of these cases, do in-house, so that you cut down on the cost? Because you look like through the governor, and I think Kwale was here, they have over 80 advocates in-house that they have established under the county, the county attorney of Kwale. So looking at these 400 cases and looking at the amounts that you may end up paying in fee, is there a strategy to ensure you well-resource the county attorney department to get more in-house advocates so that some of these cases can be handled in-house? Then it becomes cheaper because you'll need only to pay your advocates the salary. And we did agree that on a number of occasions, and I think you were in our meetings severally, and through the chair, Senator Susan Kihika, governor, was a very committed member of my committee. It's good to go on record. And one of the proposal, chair, was to make the office of the county attorney very attractive. And we even gave the same status of a CCM equal to the county attorney to attract the best legal brains. So what is the county doing to have in-house strategy to handle these 400 cases?
The 400 active cases are actually in our county attorney's office. So they are being handled in-house. What I've been doing is when we came in, we had a county attorney's office that was not very well resourced as far as the human resource. And what we have agreed with the county attorney is that we need to hire more attorneys for him. I think just a month ago, we did bring on board a county solicitor, which was a position that had not been filled, I guess, even before we came in. And we are bringing on board more lawyers to help him because it's a lot of cases for the few attorneys that we have in there. But like you said, we are adding more resources to that office so that they are able to expeditiously handle these cases so that we don't keep running those bills as the backlog becomes too much due to not having enough human resource.
And maybe, Auditor General, let's go to it, because there's something very worrying about it, where there are 417 law firms that are owed. 417. And I wonder how the county attorney manages that.
During the year under review, a law firm was paid a legal fee amounting to 12,049,000 for reviewing pending legal claims against the county. This is contrary to Section 5(1)(d) of the Nakuru County Attorney Act 2017, which required the county attorney to present the county government in any legal proceedings arising from the county registration or any other registration which the county government is party to or has interest. The letter of engagement was dated 29th May 2019, but was signed a year later. The contract provided for payment of instructions fee of 2 million on execution of the engagement letter and 5% of performance fee of the amount saved. However, records of the amount saved was not provided for audit verification, and therefore it was not possible to determine the amount paid. Further, review of the records provided for audit revealed that the legal fees amounting to 439,852,209 for 417 law firms for the provision of legal services have not been paid. This is contrary to Section 5(1)(d) of the Nakuru County Attorney Act 2017, which provided that the county attorney shall represent the county government in all legal proceedings arising from the county registration or any other registration that is the county government is party to or has interest. Other other than criminal proceedings. Further, no record of services provided by the law firms were provided for audit verification. In addition, the law firms were directly procured. However, the services were not urgent, and the reasons for using direct procurement method was not provided. In the circumstance, management was in a breach of the law.
Auditor General, was this one of the issues that was still outstanding? It has not been resolved to your satisfaction. Yeah, so let's get the governor's response, because it is worrying to hear that 439 million is owed to 417 law firms in Nakuru. So let's get your response and find out whether that amount is still outstanding and whether this is the best way to run the affairs of a county government.
But looking at what I have in front of me, it shows that we have 23 advocates firms, not 439. I see 23. And what it is currently we have outstanding balance of 365,719,118.67.
Just say that again.
Sorry. 365,719,118.67.
Due to how many firms?
This is to 23 firms. Initially, Chair, we have a lot of carried over legal matters from even before devolution, from prior to 2013. So all that together was coming to 1.3 billion legal fees that we owed. We negotiated it down to 439 million. And that is what we've been paying, making payments on that amount. And that's how now we are at 365 from 439.
And 439 is a figure the auditors queried.
Okay.
So there seems to be some
concurrence there.
The thing that there's no concurrence on is the number of firms.
Right.
You are saying 23, the OAG is saying 417.
Yeah.
As per the information that the governor has provided, we have, as at the time of audit, we had 23 law firms that had been qualified, pre-qualified under framework agreements. As the governor has rightly observed, Mr. Chairman, at the time of establishment of the Office of County Attorney under NAKURU, it was established under the Nakuru County Act of 2017. We realized that the bills that had been inherited and recorded by the Transition Authority and verified by the Pending Bills Committee amounted to 1.3 billion. So we decided, Mr. Chairman, to negotiate the bills with a view of settling them and proceeding on a clean slate.
Now, you have not addressed the numbers. You have talked of jurisprudence, but not the numbers. Here we deal with numbers. Is it true that you've got 417 firms?
The pre-qualified firms are 23 as at the time of audit.
Auditor General,
that is in terms of legal fees. I want to clarify.
From your observation, does the 417 still apply?
Chair, the 417 still stand, and I will ask management to look at these legal cases, both within the after devolution and the before devolution, because they are all still, they adopted the assets and liabilities of the defunct local authorities. So when you look at it, it's still, they are all 417. 23 they are talking of, it is the legal firms that are after devolution.
What made you arrive to the position that, one, there were 417 law firms, number two, whether there was a direct procurement as you have observed?
The 417 comes from the figure of outstanding legal fees of 439. When you get the firms that are asking for this money, there are only 417 firms.
I think just my own recommendation to the committee is that we might need to meet this, to know these law firms, that 417, because being owed around 500 million, 439 is a lot of money. So we need to get the list and then know why are they being owed to the county government of Nakuru, and the others are historical and others are latest. I think if we can get the list, it will allow us to have a better view of why is who being owed and which law firms are these.
And I think we can get the list within the timelines that we had given for the contingent liabilities. Senator Dula.
No, Chair, I just wanted to ask the county whether they have the list of the historical cases vis-a-vis the current, so that you can be able to know who you owe and how much. And is it appearing in your pending bills? Because that is also very important. Now, I think it is also important for the historical cases, whether they are genuine or not, because if they are not genuine, you can actually verify and kick them off than carrying them along, and they become a burden to you for some time.
Sure. Thank you, Chair. Yes, we do have a list of the cases, and we would be able to separate and show which are from before devolution and which are after. And we shall be able to provide that within the timelines guided by Chair. I really...
The number of firms is alarming, but not as alarming as the amount owed.
Sure.
I think the bigger thing
Sure.
is the amount owed,
Sure.
where there seems to be agreement.
Concurrence.
We'll also look at the audit query on unpaid court awards so that we tie them together. Yeah, just proceed.
Sure, I was just finishing to say to Senator Dulo's question, yes, we carry them as pending bills, so we don't leave them out. And as we split whatever we have in the pot for pending bills, we make sure that we are also handling the lawyers so that the interests don't keep adding up. Thank you.